The famous quote that actually comes from a guy named Joe Ferreira, who's an artist. His famous quote was that working Mattel Electronics was like living in the dorms.
Say it again?
Living in the dorms. Because, like I say, they didn't hire the people who had 20 years experience. They hired people who were right out of college. First job ever. Most of them were single. Most were under 25. The building, the Mattel Electronics building, was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You could walk in there Sunday at 2 a.m. and go, anybody here? Somebody in the cubicle would go, yeah, I'm working on this, because everyone had a deadline. There were two big deadlines each year. There was the CES show in January, that was in Las Vegas, and there was a CES in June in Chicago. And those are the two big shows. They don't have the Chicago one anymore. But that's what we're always aiming for, getting games to show there. And so people are always fighting with deadlines to do that. And so they're always there. Sometimes people would be working. I was one time logged onto my computer for 36 hours straight, working on a game to get out. And so it was just, and then, you know, when you finally get tired and burnt out, you all go out together and socialize.
Yes, you as well.
I was about 23, 24 doing it, and I never enjoyed myself more in my life.
Yeah.
It's the best time I ever had.
It was a great place to work. And I was saying earlier, they'd have arcade machines up in the near the offices, so you could just walk up and play some arcade games. And it was the atmosphere was to keep everybody loose and creative. And every so often they'd take us to the
Castle Park.
Yeah.
Arcade, Castle Park Arcade that used to be right down here. And they would turn us loose. They'd rent out the whole building, and then they would have dinner for us in there, with pizza, sandwiches, all that stuff.
Boxes of tokens.
Yeah, just cases of tokens all over. You just grab all the tokens you want and start playing the machines. And it would be basically till 1 o'clock in the morning. We'd get there like 6 o'clock at night, having a ball.
It was all just to keep everybody laundry going, but
the thought process
and creative.
They used to take us out to the park, you know, at midday, go around, throw a frisbee around, and start. That's why I got to be Blue Sky Rangers, was we'd go out and play outside and start throwing things around and build on, you know, what's popular, what do you want to do, how do you see a video game? If we did a video game like this, how would you put it together, and what would you do? So they took all this information and kind of put it together, and then what games were coming out from that stuff.
One of the fun parts is because the Intellivision Electronics was a separate building from the Mattel Toys, but the cafeteria was in the Mattel Toys building, and you'd walk over there, and they had long hallways, and you'd go through, and there would be all these, what is it, Chatty Cathy, or these roller skating dolls coming up the hall, or Hot Wheels cars flying up the hallway where they were testing stuff.
Yeah, all the test area.
Yeah.
Several couples got together, got married, are still married. We're right over here today, Tracy and Ray Rue. So it was just a real camaraderie and friendship, and that a lot of creativity happened that way too, because you're in a cubicle working, and the guy next to you, and so you get kind of competition and going on for that. So that's what it was like when we were part of Mattel. Now, after it was gone, and after then we continued to do the game for INTV Corporation, those games were then done at home. And you know, we built through Dave Warhol's company, produced all the games for INTV Corporation. He produced boards that could fit into a PC and could let you continue to develop games. Now the thing is, that element was still missing, that camaraderie. So when you talk to Dave about the games, even though people could do them now by themselves at home, Dave will always tell you that the real crunch of the game and the real development, and when they're really fighting for it would be at his house. The programmer would come over, and he and the programmer, and sometimes Connie, who did most of the graphics, the three of them would be working right there together. It's the you know, game design. You know, now it's 100 people. And I don't know if they ever talk to each other and everything. There's still places that, you know, they do seem to do that. But with the Intellivision stuff, the best games have always come about because either the people are working together on the one game, or people who are working on different games are going in each other's cubicle. At the time I was developing my game, Tron Solar Sailor. Across the hall from me, Mark Urbanek was doing a game called Vectron. And I'd be working on my game, and I'd say, hey, you know, it'd be really cool if I did this in the graphic, in the opening graphics. And Mark would come in and say, hey, what are you doing? What? Oh, you can't. And then he'd run back in and figure out how to do something better in his.
Right.
And I'd go look at his and go, oh, okay. Okay. And then I'd go back and do something. So that competition, you know, made everything better. And so we couldn't recreate that fully with the INTV games because we didn't have a staff of 100 people anymore in a building. But yeah, we try to get together, even just 2 people. Dave, I think, will tell you that the most fun he ever had was when they were doing, I think it was the basketball game. And the games that they did for INTV Corporation, they used real stats or stats close to real players. Somebody would be very good at the free throw, somebody very bad, somebody good at basketball. And on the basketball one, he said the most fun he had was just when he and Steve Ettinger, the programmer on it, just were at his house, staying up late, coming up with the names of the players and their stats for them. How about this guy? Well, we'll name him after Magic Johnson, so let's call him Wonder Man. I forget what all the things were. But just that kind of working together thing, that teamwork on working together, I think has always been an important thing in developing games.